Good afternoon, this is Terry from the Frugal Connection. I want to welcome you to my kitchen today. I'm doing some meal prep and I'm making some breakfast food ahead of time just because I find, especially on the mornings when I have a busy schedule, it's a lot easier to just grab and go, and I don't want to make bad choices, so I decided to put some together ahead of time. And what I'm going to make today is some banana peanut butter baked oatmeal, and I want to invite you along with me while I make this. All right, friends, this is what we're working with for this recipe. I have in this bowl, I have 3 cups of rolled oats. I have 2 very ripe bananas. The riper the banana, the more sweet it is. And because this recipe has no added sugar in it, and I only want to use fruit to sweeten it, I used very super ripe bananas. In this bowl, I have 2 flax eggs, which is basically 2 tablespoons of flax meal mixed with 6 tablespoons of water. In this measuring cup, there is a half a cup of unsweetened all-natural peanut butter. I have cinnamon. I have 1.5 cups of almond milk. You could use oat milk in this. You could use soy milk. I just happen to have almond milk, so that's what I'm using. I have baking powder and I have vanilla extract. All right, those are the ingredients, and we're going to get started making this recipe. This is super easy to put together. It only requires a few ingredients, and so what I'm going to start with here is I have my measuring bowl. My oven is preheating to 350 degrees. I have 2 super ripe bananas. Again, the riper your banana, the sweeter it will be. And I am going to start by just adding these to my bowl, and then I'm going to give them a good mash. I want to mash them up real good. All right. Breakfast has always been the tricky part for me, and I find like for some of that reason is like I was never a big breakfast eater. I'm not a big, I just never have been. I'm not a fan of getting up and immediately putting food in my mouth. It takes me a while to get moving in the morning. However, I do know that having breakfast is important. One of the things I like about eating a plant-based whole food diet is that some of the choices that I have are different, which is okay, because traditional breakfast food I never liked because I always felt like it was super heavy, and when I ate it, it just made me not feel good the rest of the day, and it also set me up to overeat the rest of the day. So sometimes for breakfast, I will do something like cook a baked potato or a sweet potato, mostly sweet potatoes I use, and I'll sprinkle some flax meal on top, add some greens, a little bit of a dressing, and that keeps me full till lunchtime. Other times I will do oatmeal with just, I use rolled oats or steel cut oats. I will add some fruit to it, some chia seeds, some cinnamon, vanilla, and sometimes a splash of almond milk, but that is it. Okay. So there we go. We have our mashed bananas. And let me get rid of these peels. The nice thing about baked oatmeal, you can just do it all in one bowl. You could even do it in the pan, but I don't grease my pans because I don't use oil, and I don't want to add that to the pan. So instead, I just have a piece of parchment paper in here. So I'm going to mix it all in this bowl and then transfer it into that. So to my bananas, I'm adding my 2 flax eggs. And this way I'm getting my omega-3 in there, and it will give it a little bit of a lift. It is a good egg replacer. I'm going to add my peanut butter. I have a half a cup of all-natural, unsweetened peanut butter, just peanuts, nothing else. My soy milk. I'm sorry, I have almond milk, my almond milk. And then I'm going to add a teaspoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of baking powder, and this is a little clumpy, so I'm just going to put it in my hand and make sure I got all the lumps out. There's nothing worse than taking a bite of something and there's a clump of mixed in baking powder, which gives it this really acidic bite in your mouth. And I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. That's it with that. This is super easy to make. Only takes minutes. And I'm going to add my oats in. Now, if I feel like it's not wet enough and I need something else to it, I do have some unsweetened applesauce that I made last summer or last fall, and I will add that. But I think this is going to be good. Now this, because I'm using super ripe bananas, it is not going to be sweet, super sweet. It'll have a hint of sweetness without being overly sweet or without using sugar, any added sugar, or you can use maple syrup if you want. It is a plant, but I try to avoid all those sugars as much as possible because they just kind of trigger me wanting to eat more and more. More sweets, I should say. All right. I just want to make sure that peanut butter is all in there well. You could do this in your food processor if you want, but I don't want my oats to disintegrate, so I'm doing it in my bowl. Now, traditional baked oatmeal has sugar in it, it has whole milk in it, it has eggs in it, and those are the things that all pack on the calories. This one is completely plant-based and healthy. And again, because it has the flax meal in it, which is my egg replacer, it will also give it a nice rise, but it'll give me the omega-3 fatty acids I'm looking for. The one thing I do find is if you're eating exclusively plant-based or nutritarian or vegan, whatever one of those you want to call it, is that you need to make sure you're getting enough of the vitamins and minerals that you need, the fatty acids, so that you don't become deficient in anything. And so that's why when I go to the doctor, I always have them check my levels with those things so that I can make sure that I am healthy. And the last time I went to the doctor, all my levels were normal. I've been doing a lot of meal prep this week, or I shouldn't say meal prep, I was doing a lot of canning projects. Yesterday I made vegetable broth and canned it. I also finished up my sauerkraut and canned it so it was shelf stable. You don't need to can sauerkraut as long as you have the right environment for it, if you're going to store it long term. But my basement is a little too warm, and when I've tried to do it with just a crock in the past, it's molded. So I just always can mine to be safe. All right, so that's that. I am going to transfer this into this parchment pan. All right, that took less than 5 minutes to pull together. Let's spread this out a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna, as soon as my oven's ready, I'm gonna pop it in the oven. I'm gonna bake it for about 30 minutes, and I will meet you back here to give it a taste. Okay friends, it just came out of the oven. It smells so good right now. I kept it in there for about 33 minutes. I just felt like the middle needed a little bit more time. It's made with mashed banana, so sometimes it just takes a little bit longer. But now I'm not gonna cut a big, huge chunk of this because this is for breakfast, but I did wanna just try it with you and see how it turned out. So I'm gonna take a little slice out of this. And now normally what I would eat with this is some, I would put it in a bowl and I would put some added fruit to it and a little bit of splash of almond milk, and that would be my breakfast. Well, it's kind of crumbly at the moment. So as you can see, it's nice and hot. If I waited till this was cool, it would come out a lot easier. But oh, it smells and looks good though. All right, I want to give this a taste test and see how it turned out. Wow, that is really good. Got the hint of peanut butter in there and banana. Little tiny hint of sweetness from the bananas, but it's great. I love the cinnamon taste to it. And again, I would just put it in a bowl. I would add maybe some extra banana to it, sliced banana, or some strawberries, or some other kind of fruit, whatever you want to use. We want to try to get those berries in, so like blueberries would work, or raspberries. And then just pour a little bit of almond milk over the top, or oat milk, or soy milk, whatever your plant-based milk of choice is, and you have a complete breakfast. And again, because it has no sugar whatsoever in it, it's not going to trigger those hunger cues where you want to keep eating. This will be filling, and it should keep you full until lunchtime. So I hope you'll give this one a try. I will put the recipe down below in the description box. I'll put the link that'll take you to my website. I have a cookbook out. It's called Simple and Nutritious 52 Plant-Based Whole Food Recipes. I will put the link for that down below as well. But again, try this recipe, see if you like it. Let me know what you think about it. And I want to keep showing you how to make these dishes that are super easy to make. So eating plant-based does not have to take hours and hours to put together. In fact, I cook a lot less now than I ever used to. And yet they're very simple and they're not expensive. Like this one was just oats and bananas and, you know, basic ingredients that I have at home. So give it a try. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you in the next video.